Victory is always possible for the person who refuses to never stop fighting. Welcome back everyone to another Minecraft mod showcase, and in this showcase we are going to be checking out the Epic Fight mod, and this mod pretty much just changes the combat mechanics of Minecraft and also adds in a couple of new weapons. So all the mechanics are changed. Let's go check it out. And if you guys do have any suggestions for mod showcases I should do in the future, please do comment them down below. Okay, so first thing you'll notice right now is that I'm not moving properly. Like look, I'm even walking like this and stuff. It's pretty crazy. So this mod kind of changes like bending physics and stuff. It just changes the player model, how the model moves and this kind of thing. So if I press my shift key right now, I kind of just take a knee. I take a knee and I just kind of sit here like this. It's really cool actually. I'm just kneeling instead of like the regular shift in Minecraft, which would be just like kind of crouching over almost. But I'm actually kind of just kneeling here, which is really, really cool. And when I walk, my legs actually move. Like my knees are bending, my arms are bending. It's really, really sick, I have to say. And if you punch normally with this mod, you do like a triple attack like this. So to actually get started with the mod, you have to press your attack key, which is, for me, it's R. So you can toggle between your regular Minecraft. So this is normal. As you can see, we're still moving a bit like different, but our stuff is just normal. We have our normal attack. We can just punch like this and everything. It's pretty standard stuff. And then you can turn into attack mode. And you also get this little GUI down the corner here. And we can use our attacks like so. And we get a nice little barrage of punches here, which is kind of like boxing and stuff. It's pretty cool. So yeah. What you can also do is, as you can see, this little symbol here, which means you can actually roll. You can tactically roll or combat roll. If you sprint like so, and then press your shift key while you're sprinting, you'll do a combat roll. How cool is that? So if you do your sprint and shift at the same time, you will combat roll. And this will only work in attack mode, obviously. So if we do it normally, nothing works. We just shift like this. You know, it's pretty standard. But if we go into attack mode and then do it, do a nice little combat roll. This is really sick. So movement has changed a lot actually in this mod. It's really, really cool. And it even shows the fist in first person as well when you attack like this, which is really, really sick. I'm so glad they included that. So yeah, that's the basics anyway. So let's get started. So this mod actually does change the way that swords work, and it also changes the way that axes work. So I'm going to show these off first, and then we'll get into the new stuff over there. But first off, I'm going to grab these swords. So first off, you'll notice that it says it has 1.6 attack speed, and it can hit 2 enemies per swing, and it has 1 impact. So it means it can hit 2 enemies per swing. That's a pretty given idea. And then there's also 1 impact. So impact means this value will increase the stun time of the target. Okay, so we got our husk here, and as you can see, he's got a little bar over his head. So this is a new thing with the mod as well, by the way. So we'll go into attack mode here, and if we just hit him normally, he'll be stunned. So you'll notice for like a very short amount of time, he's actually stunned. So you can see even the attack in the particles is really, really cool. So those little white particles just mean he's stunned when I hit him like that. So yeah, he kind of can't move for like a little short second there when I hit him with the sword. So yeah, that's basically what that does. And obviously it can increase with a better weapon. So this is just the standard wood sword, so it only has 1 impact. Then the gold sword is the same thing, 1 impact. The stone sword has 1.2 impact, so it's a longer stun. The iron sword is 1.4, the diamond sword is 1.6, and the netherite sword has 1.8. So netherite sword obviously the best here. So if we hit him with the netherite sword, he stays stunned for a little bit longer, as you can see, and it's a bit of a red. It's a red particle this time, so he's staying stunned for longer. That means. So yeah, swords just changed a little bit, and you can of course use a shield with your sword in the combat mode as well if you want. So I can use a shield like so, and I can just kind of walk like this. It's really, really cool actually. So yeah, we're just kind of walking like this. Also, this mod does turn off your cape. So if you have like a Minecon cape or an Optifine cape, it will turn it off just because the player model is different and stuff like that. So just keep that in mind if you are going to use the mod. But yeah, that's basically swords. Swords were changed a little bit with the mod, as you can tell. And the axes were also changed. So basically, axes now have something that has this thing here. So this is armor negation. So it doesn't affect the wood or gold axe at all. It starts with stone axe, And it only hits one enemy per swing, but it has 10% armor negation. So it can go through armor 10%. So it'll do 10% real true damage through armor, which is very good actually. And it has 1.5 impact, so it stuns enemies for a good amount of time. And then the iron one has 20% armor negation, at 1.8 impact, so it stuns them for a good bit again. The diamond has 2.1 impact and 30% armor negation. So that's very, very good. And the netherite one has 2.4 and 40% armor negation. That means you'll do 40% true damage no matter what armor the enemy is wearing. So that's insane. Now, I don't have an armored enemy to show you, unfortunately, but I can just show what I mean by the stun here for a sec. So if we hit him here, he stays stunned for a good bit. Like, he stays stunned for a reasonable amount of time. Sometimes it can be a bit like glitchy or something, and it'll just like freeze, but that's fine. So yeah, he stays stunned for a little while there, and we can just kind of keep attacking him like that. And even the attack animation is so cool. Like, look at this. Oh, that's one thing I meant to show you too. Okay, so each weapon has its own special attack, right? So I'm going to show you the different attacks of each weapon. So normal attack, you left click once, or you can like a little barrage of attacks. So you do three. You can do three in a row, basically a little combo attack kind of thing, which is pretty cool. That's a regular attack. Then you can do a sprint, and if you're sprinting and you press your attack key, you'll do like a little what would you even call it? Like a running attack, I guess, where you try to like poke your enemy or you like spear them or whatever. It's really cool. And then you can do the same thing with the axe. Obviously, you can do like your running attack and all this, and yeah, all that jazz. You can do like a 1, 2, 3 with the axe as well if you want. It's a bit slower, obviously, but it's still pretty cool. And then there's something with every weapon. Every weapon has their own unique ability. So if we go into our inventory here and we press P, the unique attack on the sword is a spin forward, cutting down enemies. So it's a sweep attack, and each strike does 16 damage, 20 armor negation, 1.8 impact, and hits 3 enemies per swing. So basically, we can hit 3 of these guys if we do our... So you have to hold down your attack button for this to work. And you'll do like a little spin attack, and it'll damage all the enemies around you. But these guys just decided to move, which is very rude of them. So, and bam, you can hit all 3 at once if you do your attack properly. Just like that. And you can tell that this is charged by looking at the bottom right corner here. So if I did it in survival, there would be a cooldown on this thing. So the way you recharge this is basically by hitting enemies. So you can see it's at 0 right now, which means I cannot use the attack. I'm holding down my left click. It's not doing anything. So you have to actually hit enemies to charge that. So hit this guy here. So it's charged to 52. Hit him again. Now it's fully charged, and I can use my attack now because the bar is fully charged. So we can do like a whole spin attack there. You can also be stunned by enemies too. I meant to say that. You get stunned by enemies the same way that you can stun enemies. So just keep that in mind. And different enemies have different stun ability, or like different lengths of stun and all this kind of stuff. So there's a lot of different stats involved in the mod as well. So let's get these guys out of here. So yeah, each weapon has its own special attack, which is very cool. So I'll go into creative and I'll show you the axe one now. So with the axe one, you can hold down your left click and boom, you do like a huge charge attack. So what this basically does is guillotine axe. So heft an axe, then smash it down to execute the enemy. So it does 25 damage, which is a one shot for like most mobs. 60 armor negation, 2.4 impact, and you can hit 1 enemy with it. So we'll get a husk here and I'll show you. So this is a full HP husk, and we can charge our attack here. And bam, we just one shot a husk, like so. That is crazy. So yeah, that's the special attack for the sword and the axe anyway. Now I'll move on to the spear. So the spear basically has 1.1 impact, 1.2 attack speed, so it's pretty fast. You can hit 4 enemies per swing though, which is crazy. And the stone one has 1.6, the iron one has 2.1 impact, the diamond one has 2.6 impact, and the netherite one has 3.1 impact. So you can stun enemies for a very long time with the spear. So if we do this and oop, he stays stunned for a good bit there. And so the sprint attacks on the spear are... I didn't do it properly first time, sorry, I just realized. So the sprint attacks on the spear is like so. You run and then you do a charge and you just kind of like skewer whatever's in front of you. And you've also got your combo attack, which is your 1, 2, 3, and you kind of like shift the spear from side to side, which is really cool. You're like kind of like juggling it around or whatever, just kind of, oh, it's really cool. It's so cool. And then you got your special attack with the spear. So if we hold down left click, look at that. That's so cool. So we'll spawn in a bunch of husks here, and we can do like a... Look at that. That's so sick. Oh my god. That's crazy. Yeah, so spear, super cool weapon. And its special attack is actually just amazing, to be honest. So special attack is basically slaughter stance. So it slices enemies in a wide area and it strikes totally twice. So you do 2 different attacks with your special attack basically, and each one will do 10 damage. And it's 3.1 impact, and you can hit 9 enemies per swing. So we could in theory hit like every single one of these guys here, I think. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that's about 9. So if they were close enough, we could in theory hit them all at the same time, which is crazy. So if there was a lot of enemies around you, this is really good for crowd control. You could just absolutely mow them down with the spear, basically. And to craft the spear, it's going to be 2 sticks and a sword of whatever type you want to make. So if, say you wanted to make a gold spear, you use a gold sword. And then there's a diamond spear, diamond sword, blah, 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 blah. You get the idea, just like so. But I did notice there's no recipe for the netherite spear. I don't know if that's on purpose or what, but I cannot find a recipe. So maybe they're not included in the mod yet or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, that's basically how you craft the spear. So anyway, the next weapon we got over here then is the greatsword. And the greatsword has 12 attack damage. The gold one has 12 attack damage. The stone one has 13 attack damage. The iron one has 14. The diamond one has 15 attack damage. And the netherite one has 16 attack damage. And as you can see, they get a little bit progressively slower the higher tier the weapon is. So they all have minus 0.02 speed, so they are quite a slow weapon, but you can hit 5 enemies per swing with one swing of this sword, which is really cool. So the gold one has 3.3 impact, the stone one has 3.7 impact, the iron one has 4.1 impact, the diamond one has 4.5 impact and 10% armor negation. And the netherite one has 4.9 impact and 20% armor negation. So yeah, very cool. So this will slow you down. Obviously, as you can see, I'm moving a little bit slower in Minecraft myself, and just because I have the sword out. So if you're holding the sword, you will move slower. So we'll go over here and... Okay, it's really slow to attack. So this guy's just running around in circles. Can you stop moving for like 2 seconds? There we go. So yeah, it's a very slow weapon, but it does such high damage. So that's kind of the trade-off with this. So we can hit 5 weapons, as it said, or 5 enemies at the same time, as it said. So we can hit all these guys and kill them in 2 hits, because this weapon is crazy. So let's get this guy out of here. So yeah, basically the basic attack is this sweep attack here. Very slow, but very high damage, as it describes. And what you can do is you can do your sprint attack, and you can hold, or you can press left click and do like a nice little turnaround thing, which is just really cool. So you just kind of swing the sword over your head, and then it's like from behind you, you bring the sword down on them. It's really, really cool. Such a cool attack. And then your special attack is this. You basically turn around 3 times. So if there's a big group of enemies like so, you can just run at them and go like bam, bam, bam. It's so cool. It's so cool. Look at that. Honestly, this mod could fit so well into regular Minecraft. I have to say, this is so cool. Why can't they do something like this in regular Minecraft? It's very sick. It's very, very sick. Like, even just a combat system like this that you could toggle or something would be amazing, but whatever. Anyway, hopefully we can look for it in 1.18 or something like that in the future. That would be great. Anyway, so yeah, the big attack for this one is basically, or the special attack is Giant Whirlwind. So you spin forward with heavy weapon crushing at the enemies. It strikes totally 3 times, and each strike does 16 damage, 20 armor negation, 4.9 impact, and hit 5 enemies per swing. So you can do a lot of crowd control with this. Very, very powerful attack. And bam, get out of here. So that was the greatsword, and the next one we got over here is the katana. And the katana, sorry, I forgot to show you how to craft the greatsword. So the greatsword is crafted basically using any kind of plank and 6 of whatever material you want to use. So you want to make a stone one, use stone, obviously. And if you want to make the iron one, use iron. If you want to make the diamond one, use diamond in this place here. So it's just in this recipe, like so. So it is quite expensive to make it, but it does a lot of damage. So I would say worth it in the long run. So yeah, then there's the katana. So the katana is basically a 200 weapon, so you can't use a shield with it, obviously. So if you don't act for 5 seconds, it will go into sheathing state, and in the sheathing state, you can reinforce the next attack. So with sheathing state, this is sheathing state right here. And this means that my next attack will be more powerful because it's in sheathing state. So if I go over to this guy and I hit him once, it'll do it did 5 damage. And if we attack again after it, it will do a little bit less damage, I believe. So you can hit 2 enemies at once. It has 2 attack speed, and you can do, it has 1.1 impact. So yeah, and it's 6 damage. So right, I'll try the sheet. So sometimes the sheeting doesn't work. You have to wait like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it puts it away like that. But when you use it at once and then you have to like switch off the weapon and then go back to it, you have to kind of, I don't know, it's weird. But anyway, so this guy, why do mobs move so much in this mod? I don't understand. They just keep walking around like all the time. Anyway, so attack him there. It did 5 damage, right? So I think you can do more though straight after. Yeah. You can do a combo attack straight after that, I think. It's very strange how that works. Anyway, so then the running attack with this is basically you run and then just do like a little poke thing. This is pretty cool. But you can do like combos with this, definitely. You can do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And it looks really cool. The way that the model even moves with this sword is really, really sick, I think. So yeah, and then the special attack. I'll get a few more mobs here. So the special attack, if we press P, you can draw a sword at an invisible speed and cut down enemies. If you cast while sprinting, it dashes at very high speed, slicing your enemies in your path. So, does 12 damage, 50 armor negation, 0.5 impact, hits 7 enemies per swing. So what it said was, well, look how much these mobs are moving. Like, why is that happening? They just ran away instantly. Oh my, they know what's going to happen, I guess. So, if we run at them and do our special, bam, straight through them like that. So you do like a dash attack. Seriously, why are the mobs moving so much? That's so weird. Anyway, so yeah, you can hit so many enemies at once. 7 enemies. And you just kind of keep dashing through them like this. So yeah, it's so cool. You're like basically a ninja when you use this sword. It's really sick. Yeah. So cool. And to craft the katana, it's going to be 1 iron ingot and 2 netherite ingots. And that will pretty much do it for this showcase on the Epic Fight mod. Hope you guys did enjoy. It's a really, really cool mod. I would highly recommend checking it out because Minecraft's combat mechanics it's just not it at the moment. It's just not it. Like 1.9 it messed up a few things, man. That's all I'm gonna say. Now they are working on snapshots at the moment to change the combat again, which is good, but they're taking a very long time with that. So yeah, in the meantime, if you want to have a good combat system, I'd recommend this mod. It's really, really interesting, and especially if you're in a mod pack or something, and you want to spice it up, I would definitely recommend this combat system mod. It's so cool. And that will do it for this mod showcase. I would like to thank you so much for watching, and if you would like to check out the mod, there is a link down in the description of the video you can go to, as well as a link to a playlist with all the other mod showcases I've done. If you enjoyed the video, please do drop it a like to show some love. Also, if you are new to the channel, I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe and turn on notifications. That'd be amazing. Thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.